Aiden, he wants to improve the squad. You think you're probably looking particularly in that forward area, but also left back as well, with Alec Bailly going back to Barcelona and Como. There's perhaps a little bit of a lack of depth there as well. It is a difficult window, particularly when it gets to this stage of it, right at the bitter end. But how important is it for Celtic? Perhaps not so much domestically, but if they want to try and continue in the Champions League, to try and bring at least a couple of players in over this next 24 hours.
Yeah, it's encouraging to hear the manager say that, because I wasn't sure if they were thinking about bringing another striker in. So it's encouraging to see what happens in the next 24 hours. But I do think they'll bring in Jota, like we said before the game. I do think you'll probably see Mcgeady play more central on more occasions. But left back, I think, is an issue as well. Of course, if Greg Taylor's the only fit left back at the minute, in terms of the first team squad, in terms of someone that's played a lot of games. But I do think they'll look to maybe try and, listen, there's been talk of Kieran Tierney, of course, if that's not done already. But can I get him in before the window closes? I doubt it. But in terms of Europe, I wouldn't be too bothered about that, because, listen, let's be totally honest, it's two very, very tough games, which you probably don't expect the team to get through. But amazing opportunity. But I think domestically the squad is strong enough. I mean, you've seen today the manager was able to bring on 5 players today against a Motherwell team, and still look very, very comfortable.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be.
You should try and progress out of that game.
As I said, I think they have settled for the playoff, and yeah, the draw hasn't been kind to to Celtic in terms of Bayern Munich. Well, it could have been worse if you ended up in Madrid. But I think when you're Celtic and you've worked ever so hard to get to this position, and then you see your top goal scorer going out the door, Celtic are weaker coming out the window if they don't get anyone into it. They will get into it. There's no doubt about that, because there was competition at left back. You've lost your top goal scorer. Yes, you've brought in Jota, who will be a good signing in time. But I've said it before. When you have someone who's scoring goals at the rate that Kyogo was, and the big goals that he was scoring, it's very difficult to replace that. The Kieran Tierney one, I think, again, Kieran Tierney, he's obviously agreed to come back in the summer. I mean, I think maybe Celtic thought they were going to get him back this window. It's not happened yet. Listen, it might happen tomorrow. We don't know. But if you're they're going to get somebody on loan, or sorry, it would have to be someone on loan, because you're not going to commit to something long term. If you know Kieran Tierney's coming in, then you're just going to be back up to him in the summer. And obviously the Greg Taylor contract situation as well. So that left back area, there's a problem there for Celtic. Well, between now and the summer. But you'd imagine Kieran Tierney, he's going to join the summer. But if they can get it done, they'll be absolutely buzzing.